Living away from home and residing in our boarding setting provides an invaluable opportunity for personal growth. Boarding really is a unique experience, and students who are residing within our HAIS boarding house are participating in programs all the time that focus on personal resilience, mental health, and also life skills. And outside of that, one of the big ones is that independence that comes with living in a boarding house. A typical day in the life of a HAIS boarder involves a wake-up time around 6:15. Students go downstairs for breakfast and exercise. Depending on the day of the week, the students are either involved in the setting up and the clean-up of the breakfast. On other days, the breakfast is prepared for them prior to them coming down in the morning. They then leave for school, and they arrive at school, do their morning exercise if they're part of the swim squad, if they're part of any early morning teams such as debate team. They'll do that before school. At times there's also a homework study club or study room prior to the day beginning. After school, the day finishes around about 3:15, 3:30. We then have extracurricular activities most afternoons, and the majority of our boarders are part of those extracurricular activities. They then head home, back to the house. They have time for a boarding house meeting. They will then have their dinner, usually around 6 o'clock. And the dinner time for HAIS boarding is very, very important. That builds that real notion of community, which is really important for us at HAIS, the community that the boarders actually develop while they're in the house. After dinner, we then have time for prep and study, which usually goes to about 8:45 or 9 o'clock. There's then some time for social time in the house, whether the students might go and play some pool or play some basketball, handball, whatever it might be. Then it's time for lights out, and then the next day it all begins again. One of the key relationships obviously is between the students and the boarding master, and a number of our students talk about the value add to their schoolwork. So when they're completing the schoolwork at home, when they go back to the boarding house, they actually have that allocated time for prep and study work. So the prep, the study work, the homework, having that person sitting by their side, guiding them through that, really does assist with their overall schooling and makes the overall HAIS experience much more rewarding. Some of the real benefits of living in Hoi An for our boarders are the access to the beach. Some afternoons after school, the students will go down, they'll have a surf at the beach, and they'll spend time with each other, either exercising or just being social on the sand. The rice fields, riding through the rice fields on the way to school, on the bikes, apart from the exercise it provides, it's also a great way to start the day. So for any parent who's considering HAIS boarding, they can rest assured that their children will be entering and becoming part of our greater HAIS family. We understand that making a move to a boarding facility can be difficult initially and can be challenging, and we are there to provide all level of support to help the students through this initial transition and into life in the boarding house. Life in the boarding house develops structure, routine, time management, all important life skills for when students eventually leave and go on to either further study or join the workforce.